Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks again for watching. This one can be controversial. I personally have thoughts and I'm going to be reviewing this little, I was going to say care package. This is not a care package. This is like a mini travel set, I guess they say. Obviously this is the Drunk Elephant set. This is a new set. I forget the actual name of the set. Oh, Catch Some Rays, that's the name of it. And what we have in here are three little things. We have a small version of the D-Bronzi Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops, which I think they've definitely repackaged since the last time I had it. Obviously this is a small one. The reason I got this though is for this O-Bloos Rosi drops. And then we have another Umbra Tinte. Umbra Tinte I've owned many of. I actually did a video a while back about like products that I no longer like, and that was in that. So I'm going to be testing these out. All of them are brand new. Some of them I've tried before, like these two, the Obloos, however you say it. I have not tried it. It's a brand new product from Drunk Elephant. So I'm going to be trying out. I'm going to give you the specs and the rundown of it, and then my thoughts, because I know this one, I don't know. I feel like everything Drunk Elephant does is kind of controversial, and for good reason. So I wanted to jump in and see what I think about it, moreover, and let you guys know. So before I get going, please do like, subscribe, do all those things. It does help my channel quite a bit. And the fun Dana fact of the day is that I used to have dry skin. Now I have normal, sometimes even oily combo skin. I don't really have dry skin anymore though. Maybe a little bit in the summer, and definitely under my eyes. My under eyes are just my problem area. But yeah, so kind of changed my skin. I do own a skincare line. It's definitely changed my skin outlook, and you know, I'm interested because I love skincare, obviously, and sunscreen, and this kind of checks all the boxes. So we're gonna see how it performs. Oh God, I just thought, where's my hair tie? It's always that like terrifying moment where if you can't find your hair tie, if it's not on your wrist, you just freak out a little. Am I right? So first up, this comes in this cute little package, although it's not very eco-friendly with all the plastic, but that's neither here nor there. But a brand as big as Drunk Elephant, you would think they would be able to do better. So as I mentioned, you get one little size of each. I believe they're about all the same. 8 mils, 8 mils, 15 mils, so like a quarter of an ounce, but of course you're not intended to get a lot. So altogether this retails for $28. Standalone, the larger size is $36. And I'm not going to necessarily be reviewing these as heavily. This is really more intended on this one. But if you want to see reviews on these later, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what this is all about. If you don't know, this is Drunk Elephant's like blush, and they're calling it a concentrated liquid that delivers a rosy wash of color to the skin in a few drops while supporting the skin barrier with omega fatty acids. That's what the O is intended to be, like O for omega. Also, Drunk Elephant has updated their website since the last time I had been on it, and it's all fancy and it has all these like shifting parts, and it's also the most annoying website I have ever dealt with. It's like so focused on being so crazy and like user experience, but the actual user experience is pretty terrible if you ask me, which no one did. So they say that it's supposed to give the skin a flattering, nobody knows you're flushed flush, which I have thoughts on. Foolproof, watercolor light formula, buildable, and flatters most skin. Interesting that they put that there. Like really interesting. Okay, and delivered in concentrated drops that can be mixed into your other Drunk Elephant products. They're very big about like their, what do they call it? Like their cocktail of things, which we're going to also test out. As far as ingredients, they do a good job of like finding the most obscure ingredient that you've never heard of. So like this one is sapin bark extract. Yeah, never heard of it. I'm sure it's great. It's a vegan color pigment. And then they also have black currant seed, matrixyl 3000, which is a peptide blend, cocoa extract, white tea extract, vitamin E, virgin marula oil, another one of their favorites. I don't doubt that the ingredient list is good. You just pay a lot for packaging with Drunk Elephant and their marketing, so that's a big part of it. Okay, enough about that. It basically, it seems like a blush with, they're saying, some skincare benefits. So I don't know how much you're gonna get because, like, let's think about it. You're putting blush like here. So maybe your cheeks are gonna look really good after wearing it for 3 months. But to me, it's fun to say, but I just don't really I don't buy that. I think if you're just looking for good ingredients, this is a great product. They typically do a good job with their ingredients. It's just not one of those things where I'd be like, oh yes, this is gonna change my skin forever. Okay, now the way I'm gonna apply it, I am going to try their method of making my own cocktail. And what they say is to use the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. I'm sure you could use anything. This was a sample in the package, so I'm going to use it, of course. And then it says to add a drop of both of these. So that's what we're going to do. And I have nothing on my face right now. Oh wow, that's a pump. Now I'm scared for the D-Bronzi because I know from previous use that this stuff is strong. But we're just going to go with it. So this is our cocktail, and this is supposed to give you kind of like the summer bronzy look. Okay. So I'm looking a little bit like bronzed and flushed and everything. I don't know if it's like the most life-changing, life-altering, but for me, this is actually a pretty nice thing because it does give you just a touch of color with the combination of the bronzed and then the blush with your moisturizer. So that is a nice touch. And my skin was feeling a little dry just because I had just washed my face. And now it feels pretty nice, not gonna complain. So first off, that's not a bad combination. Like honestly, I wouldn't think to do that. And I do like mixing all three of them. I think this on its own is a lot for a lot of people. And then this I will show you in a second. But as a combination with any moisturizer or whatever, I think it actually does a nice job. My neck is looking a little pale, so why don't we put some on there too? And you can pump out a little, like you can do less than a full pump, which is nice, at least with these. I'm not sure about, I think the regular one are more like drops. Does it pull a little pink, maybe? Okay. I'm feeling like it's pulling a little bit pink, and my face obviously, well not obviously, but it gets a little flushed sometimes when I like just go in with moisturizer, so that might be part of it. But the next step in the routine, which you normally would do, you put your moisturizer, your skincare on, and then your very last step in your like skincare routine is your SPF. So we're gonna put this on. This is the Umbra Tinte, and I have had this in the past, and I had one bottle that I liked. Oh, do you see that? And then they reformulated it, and I didn't like it as much. So this is what we're doing. There's something about Umbra Tinte. First off, I don't love, like I really would prefer to use more sunscreen, but if I use more of it, well, you'll see. There's something I think about this formula that makes my face like irritated and red and like sweat. It used to be a favorite, but that was before I think a lot of other great sunscreens existed. Okay, so this is what it looks like. After putting the sunscreen on, I feel like this combo, when I did my little cocktail, it's kind of like a wash now. So I just used product and then they're not there anymore, just because they are like a flush of color, that kind of thing. Like me personally, I would have preferred just to use this and then not to use the sunscreen, but of course I understand like I have to wear sunscreen. That's the more important part. So I just don't see like a really useful place for this combo in my life. I think maybe if I were going to be in a dark room all day and never exposed to sun, then I would love this. But for me, I always like the most important step in my day is sunscreen. So doing it like this, it's nice, but it's not really that practical, but that's just me. But I do want to attempt to put this on over top. So I'm not going to use the rest of the D-Bronzi. I pretty much have my thoughts on this. This is great if you mix it, I think it's really the only way I use it is mixed with a moisturizer. but on its own it's very intense, and I just don't need more bronze. Like, I can get it from sunscreen or just a bronzer, but this one I am intrigued for, and I have tried it. So when it comes out in this kind of like pinky iridescent color, and I will swatch it for you on my wrist. It's very like girly bubblegum pink, and you can see that there is quite a bit of like a reflective property to it. So that's interesting. And the way that I do it is I kind of rub it around on my fingers and then put it on the high points of my cheek like a blush. I obviously am quite glowy already, so this is interesting that it is like so shimmery. Okay, I don't know. Can you see? Let me zoom in on it. I mean, honestly, I can see like if you don't rub it out where it was, but I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem to do well on my skin tone. Now, I want to go do a little bit of a video in natural lighting so we can see what it looks like in front of the window. What do you think? Do you see, like, there's definitely a reflective part there. It's just very hard to tell where the blush is. So in natural light, it looks kind of the same. It looks like, I feel like highlighter, like it's like a pink highlighter more than a pink blush. And I'm definitely not going to be spending $36 for that, because the only reason I would be spending $36 is if I truly thought it was going to change my skin, because the blush isn't that pretty. Like, I mean, maybe on, here's the thing. Let's get into the real, like the nitty gritty of it. If I had light, fair skin, I bet this would be gorgeous. Also, if I liked like bubblegum pink, it would probably be gorgeous. But anyone that doesn't, anyone who wants a darker shade, anyone who wants a different shade or has darker skin, it just, I don't think it's gonna work. And I noticed that Drunk Elephant even like put a video of a black woman on their Instagram using it. And people were like, you look gorgeous, which of course she did. It wasn't her, but it was like, you could tell she probably already had blush on and she was just like doing the last like step in it. But there was no way, in my opinion, that she was getting the actual blush from this guy. It's just too light. Like, I have medium, not even like tan skin, and it doesn't really show on me. I can't imagine that it would show on anyone darker than me. And that is my issue with it. Like, to cut to the chase, which I'm not, because this is already how many minutes in, I cannot believe it's 2011. It's 2021, and Drunk Elephant, a brand that I think sold for what, like $1 billion, can't make more than one shade. I can believe that they did though, and I can believe that they made it in a very light shade. But I mean, I can, but I don't want to believe. But it's just so obvious, like, who they cater to, and that they don't give a shit, basically, if they cut out 2/3 of their audience. I mean, it really makes me mad, and I feel like people just put up with it because they're a big brand, but this is a joke. I don't think that you should spend your money on it. I think if you want to get this little gift set and try it out, that's fine. That's what I did. There was no way I was going to be plunking down $36 for it. I have so many blushes that are so much prettier and are more inclusive. And when it comes down to it, like, I'm not going to be supporting a brand that just knows that they can come out with one shade and not give a shit about half of the people out there. So that's what it comes down to. I mean, does it perform on my skin? Not really. But on lighter skin, probably. There's nothing wrong with the ingredients. There's nothing wrong with a lot of it, except for the huge elephant in the room, which is inclusivity, which you would think after all the things that America, the world, have gone through in the last few years, inclusivity, like all these things that should matter to a huge brand, that they just come out with one. So I don't know, I could talk on this forever. I would just be reiterating my point though, so I'm probably going to end here, and I'm going to tell you again, if you have a very light shade, if that's what you want, this is good. Don't go to it for the skincare properties. They're beautiful, they're wonderful, but makeup is not giving you the skincare you need. If you're not doing a skincare routine, this is all for nothing. And furthermore, if you're not using sunscreen, this is even more all for nothing. But that's neither here nor there. I think it's fine. Will I use it? I'll probably use this up. I'll probably use it on very no makeup days when I don't even apply that much, or definitely when I don't apply like a bronze tinted sunscreen. This would probably be nice over a chemical sunscreen that just has no cast. And then I would use it. So yeah, I'll use it up. I will not be repurchasing. And I just wish that Drunk Elephant could do better. Like, they could also come out with different shades of this that would accommodate more skin tones. There's just a lot, and for a brand that makes as much money as they do, there's really no excuse for one shade anymore. Popular, unpopular, I'm not sure, but that's just my thought on it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!